Okay, so now we're going to do some authorization. I'm going to leave all these guys, the login test included. I will probably, before I finish to go to the Angular, I will probably close the login test. It's not necessary to remain. But here we go. So we only want to return students if the user's logged in. So first things we want to do is first thing we want to do is grab session, right? I want to put session in there. Wait, why is session already there? Did I do it already? Yeah, I did. It's already there. I actually put the code in there and I didn't remove it. I apologize. It's not removed. So we have an array list because we're going to return an array list either way. But essentially, if the user does not logged in, we're going to return a blank list and say you're unauthorized. It's just easier to return a blank list than it is to do anything else. If the session.get attribute is null, we're going to just say, hey, you're not authorized to do it. Then we're going to check to see if the attribute admin is also null. Remember, we set the admin true if the user is an admin. Then we're going to go ahead and get all students. If we, what's the word? If the student is not an admin, we're going to go ahead and get the attribute, which I changed, so I'm going to need to fix. I think we also have find by advisor. Yeah, I did put a find by advisor, believe it or not. Okay, so I did do a little bit of this work already, unfortunately. I am going to have to change this because I did change the way that works. Like I said, I actually do change the way I teach the course every time I do it. So we're going to go like this. Sorry, brain farting now. Okay, there we go. We're going to go ahead and get the user. Session.get attribute user. And then get username. There we go. And that's going to be the advisor. Then we're going to find by the advisor, and that's going to be the roster that we're going to actually return. And guess what? That is what your user is going to see. This does, in fact, pose a problem, which we're going to fix in just a second before we get any further. But so what if the admin wants to see all the people by a specific user, right? He won't be able to do it, right? It's not possible. So we actually need to alter our system just a little bit and have one more get mapping. I'm going to put it here. Yeah, I'm going to pretty much paste it, but yeah. I don't know what I just typed. Unfortunately, I can't see it. Okay, already done. Okay, so get students by advisor. I'm just going to name it advisor. And I'm going to say by advisor. I could spell by advisor. And then I'm going to put a slash, and then I'm going to go advisor. Right? Just like we're getting an SID, except it's going to be a string. And then I want to get a path variable here. And I want to throw that in there, and I want this to be advisor, and I want this to be string advisor. And yeah, I think we're close to done. There we go. And then we get a session. Yes. Now we're going to do the opposite of what we did above. Okay. This is kind of weird. Okay. So we got to get the session attribute. We're going to do the same thing. Sorry. It is going to look the same. So I'm going to go ahead and grab it all and paste it in, right? But it is going to work differently. If such an attribute is admin, we're going to go ahead and find by advisor, and then we're going to give the advisor as the one given, right? Same idea. If the user is not the admin, okay, we're going to ignore the advisor in the request and send the real advisor in the thing. In other words, even though the user might have selected some other advisor, right? This is probably a bad plan. I should actually fix it, and I will. So let's talk about it. So if you're an admin, go ahead and get whatever advisor's advisor. That's fine. If you're not an admin, we should actually say you can't do this. Unless, what if you're actually trying to find your own, what you call it? Yes? That would be okay. So what we're going to do is, yeah, I'm just going to put it down here. If, nope, we're going to go ahead and get the user. And then if u dot get username equals advisor, guess what? We're going to go ahead and set the same code. And you're like, wait a second. Yeah, this makes sense. And you go, wait a second. What does that mean? So we're going to allow you to find by advisor, but only if you're not an admin, you can find your own advisees, but you can't find someone else's advisees. If you try to get someone else's, we're going to return that you're unauthorized to do so. Right? So now we actually have to change this to here. Okay. And that will work. Okay. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Yep, no, it has to go there because we're gonna put it here as well. And then else we got to do this other guy. Okay. Could I have done this simpler? Yes. And I'm going to do it now because I'm annoyed. But right? How could I have done this simpler? Wow. This is ugly as all sin, but I'm going to show you because of trying to think of the word. Because of the way short circuiting works, we can do things like this. Right? And then we've done those two together, essentially, right? So that those two are together. Yes. And that's going to lose the advisor as well, right? All right. Now we're also going to do no, we can't put it all together. Okay. We're gonna cheat. I'm sorry. We're just gonna cheat. I apologize. User logged in user equals user. Right, we'll be able to check to see if logged in user is null, by the way. So I'm just gonna make this much shorter, okay? Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, so now let's put it together. If doesn't equal null, there's too many, because of this part, I couldn't have done it all together. And excuse me, admin or logged in user dot get username dot equals advisor. You're like, no way. Yeah, why not? Tell me why not. Okay. We're going to put this over here just so we can have this all on one page. Yep, logged in, admin, or what you call it. And then we need one more to close the whole thing. There you go. And you go, wait a second, that can't possibly work. Yeah, it can. If your logged in user is not is null, right? Then it's going to skip this, right? This is going to be skipped. And so it's got to be one of these. If it's an admin, great, we're done. We don't need to check this. If it's not an admin, we need to check the login user and get username equals advisor. If it is, we can do this, right? It's a little bit more complicated code. Is it? Right? And then what happens if you're not logged in? If the login name doesn't equal advisor, all those things, what happens? You, my friend, get to return unauthorized. All I'm doing is putting the two things together. It's just simpler code, honestly. And I don't have to do as many rosters. Right? And I don't have to do as many returns. That's the bottom line. Excuse me. Go ahead. There we go. And I'm just going to get rid of it. Because now it works perfectly. Get the logged in user. And get user admin status. Right? Okay. Check for good return. Otherwise, you're unauthorized. It's going to return an empty roster with you being unauthorized. All right, so let's test these two endpoints. And then the other ones are going to go really quickly, and we won't even bother testing them. But the Angular, by the way, is going to go rather quickly as well. So I apologize, but let's go. Stop it, and then go run it. Okay, if you are logged in, by the way, if you are logged in, you would need to log in again, by the way. So it will automatically log you out. It'll produce some weird things. We'll talk about that later. But you should go to log out before you shut the server down. It's really important too. So here we go to login test, and you can see, actually, it still thinks I'm logged in as Mike, which is weird. So I'm going to go log out, and we'll go back to login test, and it should return not logged in, no user. Okay, great. Always make sure to log in. If you ever feel like something's weird going on, log out, because you want to wipe out the session. Okay, so I'm not logged in. I'm actually trying to get rid of that browser, by the way. I'm not logged in. So what I'm going to do is try to go get students. I'm not logged in. I'm unauthorized. Let's go to log in as Ruth Mike, not authorized. I'm going to be Ruth, right? Ooh, didn't like, what didn't it like? Ooh, it was invalidated and it didn't like it. Oh, so you can invalidate. All right, that's good news. No, but I'll show you what we can do instead. It's a pretty quick fix, by the way. Invalidation actually destroys it. So we don't want to do that. I did this for the first time in class, by the way, today. So one thing we can do is session dot set attribute. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I don't want to set the attribute because even if I set it, I'm going to not invalidate. I'm going to How do I remove? There we go. I'm going to remove the attribute user and remove the attribute admin. So I can remove anything I set up. But ideally you just log it out and then recreate the session. I think there's a simpler way to do this. I'm going to see about this next time we record, and we'll talk about that. But there's a simpler way to do that. I think I got to invalidate and then create a session invalidate, and I'm brain farting on this. It's a pretty simple way to do it. Invalidate it and then I'm sorry, I'm brain farting. I'm sorry. There is a way to actually recreate it, and but you can't revalidate redo it first. But anyway, you can remove the attributes of value, so you can remove admin and remove user. So now they're not there, even if the session is not call it. Actually, you know what I should have done? I'm such an idiot. I'm sorry. You know what makes so much more sense? I'm going to do it in a minute. I should do the invalidate, but only when the problem exists, right? If the problem exists, then I do it. So rather than clear out any logins, if there's any problem, I come here and invalidate it now. I'm sorry. That is a much simpler, easier solution that would cause fewer problems long term. Yeah. Although this does in fact work. Now when I go to get students, although I don't know where. Now when I go to get students, I get all the advisors are going to be Ruth, so I only get 4 people. I'm going to log in now as Mike. This is the old code, so I'm going to fix this and rerun it in just a second. We're going to send. We're logged in, and now when I do my get students, I'm going to get all of them. So I get the Ruth ones and I get the Mike ones, right? And of course, if I go by advisor and I'm logged in as Michael, if I go Ruth, I get all Ruths, and I go get Mike, I go get all Mike's, as an example, allows me to see only mine. Then I go log in as Ruth again. And I go to Mike, and it should tell me I'm unauthorized. Oh, I didn't log in. I didn't actually send the login. Okay. And now, yeah, I'm unauthorized to get Mike's. I can still get Ruth's if I'm interested. I can still get Ruth, but I can't get Mike's. All right, I'm going to stop recording and we'll come back and quickly and do authorization for the other parts. I'm going to actually see how long I've recorded to see how much time I actually have left. Thank you.